Within the haunting tales of Norse and Germanic mythology, there are characters whose names echo with doom, manipulation, and fate. One such figure is Grimhild, a queen whose story winds through the tragic legends of the Volsung and Nibelung sagas. Often depicted as a scheming sorceress, Grimhild is a central force behind some of the most catastrophic betrayals and heartbreaks in Norse literature. Her role as a mother, queen, and enchantress places her among the most complex female figures in ancient myth, wielding influence not through weapons, but through potions, politics, and persuasion. Grimhild appears most notably in the Volsunga saga, a legendary Icelandic text composed in the 13th century, drawing from older oral traditions. She is the wife of King Yuki and mother to Gunnar, Hogni, and Gudrun. These characters form part of the royal Burgundian family, which plays a pivotal role in the tragic downfall of the hero Sigurd, Siegfried, and the collapse of great dynasties. At the heart of Grimhild's myth is her mastery of magic, particularly potions and spells of forgetfulness and binding. She is the ultimate orchestrator, shaping events behind the scenes to secure political alliances and protect her family's interests, even at terrible moral cost. Her most infamous act is giving Sigurd a magical potion of forgetfulness, causing him to forget his love for Brynhild, the Valkyrie he had promised to marry. Under this enchantment, Sigurd is manipulated into marrying Grimhild's daughter Gudrun and aiding her son Gunnar in his deceptive courtship of Brynhild. This act sets off a domino effect of betrayal, rage, and bloodshed. Brynhild, devastated by the deception and Sigurd's betrayal, ultimately plots his death. Gudrun, heartbroken and manipulated, later becomes the catalyst for a revenge-driven cycle that culminates in the destruction of entire lineages. And standing silently at the root of it all is Grimhild, the queen whose ambition and enchantments brought heroes to their knees and turned love into war. In this way, Grimhild represents the dark undercurrent of wisdom and manipulation often associated with female figures in mythology. She is not evil in the simplistic sense. Rather, she is a protector of her house, a mother seeking to preserve her dynasty through any means necessary. Her magic, though morally gray, reflects a world in which power is rarely clean or pure. She is the Norse equivalent of Greek figures like Clytemnestra or Medea, mothers and queens whose agency disturbs patriarchal order, not with brute strength but with intelligence and cunning. It's important to distinguish Grimhild from other figures of similar names in different versions of the myth. In the German Nibelungenlied, for example, the figure most closely resembling her is Ute, a more passive queen. Grimhild, by contrast, is active, dangerous, and strategic, a force of will in a tale dominated by warriors and kings. Her presence in the Volsunga saga is essential not just as a mother or background character, but as a catalyst for mythic tragedy. Grimhild's role has inspired numerous reinterpretations in modern literature, opera, and scholarship. In Richard Wagner's Ring Cycle, echoes of her character appear in various forms, although Wagner reconfigures and merges figures from different source texts. Nonetheless, the archetype of the powerful, morally ambiguous woman remains intact, a symbol of the volatile mix between love, ambition, and fate. In contemporary analysis, Grimhild can be viewed through multiple lenses. From a mythological perspective, she embodies the archetype of the sorceress queen, a woman whose knowledge makes her both revered and feared. From a feminist angle, she represents the suppressed power of matriarchal influence in a patriarchal narrative, vilified for wielding control in a world where male heroism dominates the spotlight. Yet, for all her perceived darkness, Grimhild is not without tragedy. Her manipulations ultimately bring ruin to her children. Her daughter Gudrun becomes one of the most sorrowful figures in Norse legend, suffering the loss of husband, brothers, and children in the wake of the very alliances Grimhild forged. In this way, Grimhild's legacy is one of power with a price, a reminder that those who weave fate often become tangled in its threads. Though not as famous as Freya or Frigg, Grimhild's story is deeply embedded in the Norse literary tradition. She is a reminder that mythology is not only about gods and warriors, but about the unseen hands that steer destiny from the shadows. She is a sorceress, a strategist, a mother, and a queen, woven into the saga fabric as the quiet flame behind the firestorm of fate.